So y'all may have forgotten, you might not be aware, or you might know. But guess what? It's Wednesday night. After a dominating performance in a divisional round of the playoffs, the Philadelphia Eagles are competing for the NFC Championship this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all better be watching, because if you're not, how you gonna call yourself an Eagles fan? There's only two acceptable excuses. You in the hospital being admitted, or you at work. Anything other than that, you should be watching this game. 1,000, 1 trillion, 1 billion, not just 100. But this week, we get the game that I have been wanting. This is the smoke that I have been hoping for. The smoke that I desire. You know what that is? The San Francisco 49ers. Everybody talk about the 49ers, whatever it is, the 49ers this, the 49ers that, cool, whatever. What I want y'all to realize, we the Eagles, we the best team in the league. I'm not worried about them. Can we lose? Yeah, but I'm not worried about them and everybody else. So with that being said, not going to be too long on my part today. We're going to go ahead and bring on the rest of the squad. Wyatt, what's good, man?
Another week, another Philly win. You know, we got some games to talk about and a lot of trash to be talking.
And also, of course, we don't want to forget the Diva.
What's going on, Bird Gang Nation? Bird Gang was good. I know y'all was happy about that win. Let's go get this other We're not finished.
What's going on, Philly?
Philly here already.
And what up, Philly Eats? Appreciate y'all watching. For sure. And, hey, we're going to set it off. And you know the place where we got to start. I mean, we could talk about the injuries in a few minutes, but there's one place that we got to start. And that's that Game 3 review, the third time playing the Giants. Eagles Diva. Talk to me about that game. What are your thoughts on the performance from our Philadelphia Eagles?
That was just a well-rounded, dominating game on both ends of the ball. I got to give it up to Gannon this time. I know we've been hard on my boy for a very long time, but he showed up, y'all. He showed up and he showed out on top of the defense showing up. Like, Hassan Reddick has just been beasting out there. You got Bradbury. Like, they really played like a whole game. We rushed for 200 and something yards, y'all. Like, it was beautiful. Like, you can't get no better than that. That game was so beautiful. And if you can't tell me if we cannot continue to play that we are not going to win the Super Bowl. Like, Philly is hands down. I don't care. We keep getting all this hate saying we not this, we not that, but we are proven to be the best team in the NFL. And all I got to say is watch out.
What?
I gotta give big props up to Lane Johnson. Like, Lane deserves so much props. It's not even funny to play a dominant game having that kind of injury. And he played like a warrior. So, Lane, we love you. From all the Philadelphia Eagle fans, I know everybody feels we love you and thank you for being a Philadelphia Eagle. That's all I got to say.
Straight up. I mean, it looked like he was a little sore throughout like that first two drives, but it seemed like as soon as he kind of got situated, he was good for the rest of that game. And I mean, like Sirianni said, he came out feeling very healthy after the game. They were able to pull most of those starters in that fourth quarter. This is exactly what we needed from this team. I mean, it's such a dominant win. We talked about were they holding some stuff back, and it seems like that's exactly what they were doing as far as like trying to keep Miles Sanders healthy and trying to just hold some of these scheme and different game plans of what they were planning for the playoffs here. But man, the Giants never had a chance from that opening drive. I mean, Daniel Jones was shook. I mean, what was it, like 5 or 6 sacks we had in this game is the most we've ever had in a game in the playoffs. That D-line is feasting. This is exactly what we talked about last week, what needed to happen. And Danny Nichols was not able to do it. That white-hot Giants team everyone was talking about was nowhere in sight. They didn't come to play that game. People were talking about, like, what was it, Dexter Lawrence, whoever, going to be, like, moving Kelsey around. Like, you didn't see him get a sack at all, man. Like, I'm so happy with the squad, and we didn't even have to go like deep into the playbook as far as passing game, which look out. Well, that's going to be for the preview for this coming week. But I'm so happy about this all around. Special teams, offense, defense, and coaching and game plan was magnificent in this game.
I can't agree with you guys more, both of your sentiments. I also want to shout out Kenneth Gainwell.
Mm-hmm.
Big game for Kenneth Gainwell. Love it. I love to see the guys that don't always get the shine kind of get a little moment in the sun. So I love that. Running the ball is very important for us. It's the main thing we're going to have to be able to do in order to go where we want to go. One of the things that's important about all the teams that's left in the playoffs, we all can run the ball. The Philly made a comment a moment ago that we're the underdogs. So you might think, how are you the underdogs when you're minus 2.5 at home? I'll tell you a secret I've learned from those I know that bet on games and know the lines. Anything under 3 points is just them saying you're at home, so we're giving you, that for being at home. So basically, they feel like this is an even game at best for us, and they're giving us 2.5 points for being at home. I say all the time, nobody likes us and we don't care. This is what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, Philly Eats. I like Philly Eats. Philly Eats bringing us a lot of energy tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Hurts looked amazing. I mean, they exactly what we talked about last week was they just needed to let him be himself. And that's exactly what he was able to do. I mean, he wasn't going out and putting himself in harm's way. If he did have to kind of run up the middle a little bit, he slid real quick. He wasn't taking any chances, but he had a couple big, decent runs on the outside. Exactly what you've talked about before, Cole, is like we would probably see him going out to the outside like we've used to seeing throughout the season here. But man, I can't wait to see once they open up that playbook a little bit if they have to, because as soon as they were able to get that score up, they started playing that run game, playing a little bit more conservative. But I was surprised. I thought they were going to take the foot off the gas for the most part. And it looked like they did for that one drive. And then they're like, nah, let's just keep hammering it home here. And yeah, Kenny Gainwell had a great day. Miles Sanders could have had an even bigger day if they wanted to, but they wanted to, kind of save him for the rest of the playoffs here. But I'm ecstatic, just like the rest of the Philly fan base, and I know everybody talk about underdogs, but like I'm ready to be the big dog. Like we are the best team in the NFL right now, and we're going to go out and show the 49ers what we're about, and then hopefully go and do what we have to in the big game.
All I got to say is, Brock Purdy, you better be ready because we come.
Yeah. We made Daniel Jones look like a rookie. What are we going to make a rookie look like?
Right. A third string rookie at that. Don't forget that. He's third string, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, all I'm going to say about it, to add on to that, because it ain't too much more that need to be added to that. All I'm going to say is, San Francisco, you are going to be pretty mad come about 6:30 on Sunday. And from 3 to about 6:30, it's not going to be pretty at all for you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll shut up Chris Sims, because for you to say you would take Daniel Jones over Jalen Hurts, you know what?
That dude a whole clown. It's all right. I'm fine with the media like not talking about us or just disrespecting it, because that's what the team feeds off of the most. Like you can go ahead and talk about the Chiefs, Bengals, even the 49ers. I mean, for their hot topic with Brock Purdy and everything. It's all right. Let us lay low. We're going to come in and do some damage. And I guarantee even if we make the big game, we're not going to be talking about us nearly as much as whoever we play if we get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because what's the narrative going to be even if we beat the 49ers? Oh, you 49ers with their third string quarterback, and the 49ers hadn't really played anybody either. And you two guys had the weakest strength of schedule of any other teams. Blah, blah, blah. So, whoever wins this game is not going to get any respect. It's going to be us. But, we're not getting any respect. And that's okay. That's what we feed off of.
Exactly.
I completely agree, Philly Eats, with that one. 49ers are very cocky, so are their fan bases. And Paul Heyman, I just want to let you know, I'm going to find you on Twitter. I'm going to find you on Instagram. And after the game, let's see what you have to say about Brock Purdy. Since you want to go out in Philadelphia on Monday night, I watch professional wrestling, and say that the 49ers are going to beat us. You on the list now too. You on the list.
Then he turned Madden off. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, you got Debo out here talking about like their stadium and crowds louder, and like 49ers talking about like their fans are gonna take over the stadium. Like, good luck.
Taking over Philadelphia? Nah.
I know. Like,
Nah.
that's what the Giants said.
Well, listen.
We heard the same thing last week.
You better go see what GJ said, and you better listen to what he said. You know what I'm talking about? He said, pull up and get whooped. You see what I'm talking about? He said, everything comes with the link.
Yeah, man, they up there popping off. They up there at the Rocky statue, putting 49er shirts on them and all that. And all I'm gonna say is the
How'd
last
work
time
out for
somebody
the Vikings.
Exactly. The Vikings decided they want to do that back in the day, and what happened to them? The same thing about to happen to these scrub did we. What y'all need to understand is Philly is there for a reason. Right? And it's not to play with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is. We got to get things done. That's what's really real. That's what's the importance of doing this. And also, why not Philly? Why not us?
Yeah.
Cincinnati had their chance last year. They didn't get the job done. The 49ers have had multiple chances in the last 6 to 10 years. They haven't gotten the job done. In the last 10 years, we've had one chance, and we're 100% victory rate, baby. We get the job done. We don't get there every year, but when we get there, we're trying to change that narrative to Philly gets the job done every time. We start that this week. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But just so y'all know, it's Eagles week, and it's going to be there until the Super Bowl. Don't look for us in the flag football game or the Madden tournament or the skills challenges, because when you're in the Super Bowl, you're not able to participate in those. Maybe Brock Purdy can take Jalen Hurts' place since he'll be available.
And yeah, I was going to mention Jalen. I mean, I was going to say we got a dog at QB. I mean, I don't know if you saw his quote today in his presser. He said there's no time, because they asked him about like if he's ever sat down to reflect on the season so far, and he said like there's no time to reflect because I'm not done yet. And I was like, oof, that is like that goes hard. Like this dude's just ready. He's locked in.
That this man is MJ at the NFL. Y'all about to find out.
Sirianni wasn't lying.
Of the NFL. And you're gonna find out. Even LeBron said that. All y'all little LeBron fans, you go follow him. You know.
Listen to y'all Kane for once. Y'all always the most of the time y'all listen to y'all Kane. Listen to him this time.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a Dallas fan.
We know he's mad at Jerry Jones since that thing came out.
Yeah.
So now he's
Well, you know, LeBron looks like it ain't nothing. So
I agree with that, Scrub. And see, the thing is, what I like about Scrub is a Giants fan, but Scrub comes on here and he keeps it 100. He don't come on here with that fanboy crap. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you for listening to Philly Eats, and definitely Real Love 100. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just, man, we here for the platform, but we're here to let people know about what's going to be happening. And in our minds, because you see what we all wearing, we know who's going to win this game, you know. So that's what that is. Hey, it's nothing else that really needs to be said about the Giants game from this past week. We did our job.
On to the next.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel more confident now than I did this time last week, just because we weren't really sure on what kind of Eagles team we were going to see, because we haven't. It felt like forever since we even played a game when we were going into that game with the Giants. So I mean, after coming out of that and seeing what this team is capable of, like I am. Doesn't matter what team you put against the squad, anybody can get it.
We haven't played a complete game. Like it's been a while since we've had like a complete game where we played evenly on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. And this is the best time to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look for AJ this week.
We all want
have
to
like
do that.
150 and like 2 touchdowns. Watch.
Yeah.
For sure. So Wyatt.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about any injuries heading into this game, sir.
Not much to report, my friend. And with that is great news. The official injury report came out today it was a walkthrough day. Pretty much every Wednesday is a walkthrough day for him. Only 2 players on the injury report. Lane Johnson, who was limited, and our boy Avonte Maddox, who is limited. He is officially back on the practice squad, on the practice field. Only 2 players, and it's looking like they may. I mean, Lane's definitely going to be playing, but it's looking like Avonte Maddox will be able to go out there and play. But we're going to have a fully healthy team, hopefully going into this game, and then hopefully another game after that. But this is perfect situation for us right now. And Jalen Hurts is feeling even better. He says,
if you got Avonte Maddox back at safety, Brock Purdy, you're going to be running for your life. You hear me? Because Maddox don't play. You could be running for your life.
Yeah. And I mean, even if they kind of like ease them back in and kind of rotate them with like how they have been, maybe like CJ, GJ, that still gives you some chances to kind of mix things up on defense, keep them guessing a little bit.
I hope we use a spy, because sometimes I think we need to be spying on some of these quarterbacks, and I'd be like, Gannon, what are you doing? Can we use a spy?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he thinks that he relies a little bit too much on that defensive line sometimes. I mean, it works for the most part, though. I mean, look at how many sacks we've had this season. But I agree. I mean, we have let some of these running quarterbacks get away with some huge runs this season.
Yeah. I think you look at Brock Purdy, and I wouldn't waste a spy on him. You know, this is no disrespect to him, but I wouldn't waste a spy just because of how little he's going to run. Obviously, he'll probably break a big one off on us for 5-10 yards. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But we want that guy coverage because we got to figure out a way to cover George Kittle. And that, to me, is the problem guy for that team is George Kittle. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but that's the guy I think that we're really going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, I agree.
Before we get to that, got to swing back around to the Giants game because we have to do our player or our pariah of the game. And we'll start with you this time, sir.
Oh, man. I'm gonna go with who you mentioned before. I'm gonna go with Kenny Gainwell. I mean, it's his first game over 100 yards rushing. I mean, he had that huge touchdown run. I mean, it was the end of the game, but I mean, he broke a couple tackles. He was able to do his thing. He even had that huge third down conversion where like Sayamalu was pushing him across the line and everything. He looked very good, and I saw someone on Twitter mention it. Like he's kind of, it reminds you of like the Corey Clement of 2017 a little bit. He's going to be that guy that maybe you kind of lean on a little bit in the back half of these games, you know, in the that running back that can pass catch. Maybe you could see him doing something like how we saw Clement in the Super Bowl, take him deep or something. We haven't seen him go deep. We've seen Miles go deep before. Maybe put something out there for Kenny Gainwell. I expect another decent game from him going into San Fran. And I don't even have a pariah for this game, though.
Oh, definitely no pariahs. All right, Eagles Diva, what you got?
Lane Johnson. That is my player. Period.
Great pick.
Lane. No pariah, because everybody played like they were supposed to. So.
Fair enough. So, Philly asked, can we talk about the A.J. Brown and Landon Dickerson injuries? They're now on the injury report. So, as far as we're concerned, there is no injuries. We good.
Yeah, I mean, Dickerson went back into the game a little while afterwards. They haven't really said exactly what AJ's was, but from what some people were saying, like maybe he took like a hit to like the hip or his thigh at one point. And I guess he was kind of pissed that Sirianni and everybody kind of pulled him from the game just because they wanted to be safe about it. And he was getting mad, but people were kind of overreacting, thinking it was like a TO situation. Like he was mad he wasn't getting the ball or anything like that, you know?
Right. And I'm also going to tag Scrub Zero. See, that's what I get for being nice and putting everybody's comments up there.
Son.
This is the guy I was going to pick, right? In the backfield, in Daniel Jones' face. I feel like they have a personal relationship there after that game.
It was my second player, but I just had to pick one.
Yeah.
Scrub says the pariah was everyone on the opposite sideline of the Eagles. Philly said the tweaked hamstring for A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I mean, he's a full participant.
Yeah, as long as he's a full participant, we're good. Yeah. It is worth keeping an eye on just from the standpoint of we don't want to see a re-injury of that.
Absolutely.
Or aggravating that injury because we do need A.J. Brown in this game. But, you know, in a game where you're really winning heavily, when guys get any type of injuries, it's sit-down time. I mean, I understand A.J. Brown's a competitor. He doesn't want to sit, but that was the right move for once.
Well, he said that it keeps him in rhythm, so he felt like he should have kept getting the ball.
Well, you can get in rhythm this week, brother. We're gonna need those rhythms this week, so be
Man,
there for us.
Hassan Reddick, man, he's been playing out of his mind
Man,
all year, and even more so in these playoffs. He's just constantly getting pressure. He looks like an animal out there.
Yeah.
How is he not defensive player of the year is my question.
Not even in consideration. Like, what the hell?
And also, how is Nasty Nick not in consideration for coach of the year?
I don't understand.
I don't think he should win, right? But I think he should be there. He should be in that conversation.
Right. But like Nick said, we ain't worried about no personal awards. We got bigger things to do.
Exactly.
This is facts.
But I want to know, how is Daboll on that? But Sirianni wasn't on there last year. They did pretty much the exact same thing. They took a team that was like had 4 wins the year prior, took them to the playoffs with an above 500 record. But you have Daboll is a coach of the year candidate, but Sirianni wasn't even talked about last year. I don't know.
Sirianni did a lot better.
It's weird.
Like, he made the whole locker room a family, like whole again, because we were split. Like our locker room.
Remember, nobody likes us.
Apparently. But I also want to say shout out to like Brandon Graham. Brandon, I saw he like broke a record for sacks in the postseason and for Eagles franchise history. Like, he should have been in consideration for a comeback player of the year.
That's what Hassan said, because I saw one of his tweets. He was like, "How the hell is Brandon Graham not a candidate?"
I saw like Lane Johnson posted like a photo, like he commented under like the NFL's post about Brandon Graham. It was like, this dude tore his Achilles in the game 2 of last year, missed a whole season, and he's like 34.
Right back.
Comes back and has a career year, the best year of his career, on limited snaps. So it's like, I don't know what the NFL's thinking. Maybe they're just like, we can't give these dudes all the awards. We can't do it. We gotta give some other players some awards. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's all right. We'll take that Super Bowl though. I'll take that over everything.
We'll take that over everything else.
Yeah, I'd rather have that one anyway. I definitely would rather have that one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, a couple more things to talk about here. So the first one we'll hop into, because we know we're going to say the best for last. That's what we do. Because Philly says it's a Philly thing.
You know it.
Indeed it is.
So with the AFC championship matchup, there's a possibility of 2 teams that we can play in the Super Bowl. And that's going to be, and we'll know who wins our game, of course, for sure when this happens. But that's going to be either the Kansas City Chiefs, who are at home, against the Cincinnati Bengals. So, guys, and whoever wants to go first can, what are your thoughts on this matchup, keys to the game, anything you want to talk about in regards to these 2 teams?
We're ready for both. As far as Cincinnati, I wouldn't really be too worried about them at all. I feel like, of course, we could get pressure on Joe Burrow and shut down Mixon's running game. As far as the Chiefs, I think that game will come down to a coaching game. Who can coach the best game? Because you got Andy and you got Sirianni, and they both, Sirianni was on the coaching staff of the Chiefs. So it would be who can coach a better game and who can play a better game. Patrick Mahomes is a really good quarterback. You can't deny that. He's a very good mobile quarterback, just like Jalen Hurts. So, but the D that we have, the secondary that we have is just outstanding and amazing. So I really don't see why we couldn't put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. We don't really know how healthy he is, because we know a ankle sprain takes a lot longer to heal than just a low, sprain. So, I mean, it would be a good game with Kansas City. But I still think Philadelphia, of course, would come out on top. It would be a high-scoring game, but we'll come out on top. I still believe. Cincinnati, I ain't really worried about them. I don't know about y'all, but worried about them.
Yeah,
Scrub is right with that.
Absolutely.
We got Philly. Her Super Bowl predictions, of course, us against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
And then we have our resident guy. I don't know how he's going to feel this weekend. Because Snowman's 2 teams are playing. He's got to pick one.
I don't know what to do. I think it's going to be a good matchup, though. I think it's going to be dependent on how healthy Pat Mahomes is, though. I don't know how that ankle's looking, that high ankle sprain he has. I don't know how I saw that he was like a full participant, but how's it going to look in game action? because a lot of what they rely on is when that play breaks down, he's running around back there. And then he's that dude that always finds that play when he's running around. He's like a magician. How's he going to be able to do that if he's limping or if he's hurt? And I mean, they don't have, the Bengals are undefeated against the Chiefs too. They already have their number. So it seems like the cards are kind of stacking against Kansas City on this one. Even without Pat Mahomes being hurt, I think the Bengals are going to come out with the dub in this one. But like Diva was saying, I'm not scared of these Bengals. I think I take our defense over both of these teams' defenses, and our offense, I think, is better than both their offenses right now anyway. It doesn't really matter at this point. Everybody's going to get the smoke if they run into us. So, I mean, I'm going to take them Bengals, though, in that AFC matchup.
Well, I got to tell you, man, with the injury to Mahomes, like you said, not necessarily knowing how that's going to play out, most people would say the Bengals. My thing is, I still think Kansas City is going to win, and that's because Joe Burrow is going to be under duress, heavy duress, for most of the night, right? Because he's already had a couple linemen hurt this game. His line, the narratives have always been his line does not protect him well. Mm-hmm. So it's just, to me, it's just like you're just taking this guy and you're asking him to go outrun players, do a lot of different things, and, win a game. Let's see what Snowman has to say here. Slobber knocker, huh? Slobber knocker. I like that one. I can roll slobber knocker.
You played it safe.
Yeah, and Scrub gets one of my other points I'll make.
Yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to.
I mean, because you think about it, he wasn't too mobile the other day. Like, he was still in that pocket a lot because he couldn't really run around. He still was out there throwing the ball. So, but anyway, go ahead.
So, I think the other thing for me with everything is Mahomes' ability to create things outside of the pocket is going to be missing, obviously. You're not going to have that piece. But you still have Pacheco. I always do that. Pacheco. You have McKinnon, who is going to be big catching the ball out of the backfield for them. He's another guy that's like Corey Clement was for us a couple of years ago. That guy, he pretty much is a receiver out of the backfield. He runs sometimes, but he's a great receiver out of the backfield. And he's been big for them down the stretch. They've got a lot of their guys back. So they're going to have a lot of different weapons. They don't have a true number one, so there's not anybody. Well, they don't have a true number one receiver. They have a true number one pass catcher, and that's, of course, our guy's brother, Travis Kelce. But I think that it's going to be difficult for the Bengals to be able to take all of those weapons out, and whatever you give Mahomes, he's going to take, unless it's running. I don't think he's going to really be able to run. I don't think he's going to be able to do some of those gunslinger things because that right ankle is his plant foot. So if your plant foot's hurt, that takes away a lot of the things that you want to do. But I also believe that it's going to be very tight given the situation. The Chiefs are at home, but they've lost a couple of times in a row to the Bengals. So this should be their time. But either way it goes, man, like y'all said, whoever wins the game, I'm planning on being there, and I'm planning on bringing them all the smoke, and we want it back 10 times.
Yeah. Part of the reason I want them Bengals too is I see what Eli Apple will be talking on Twitter and stuff. Bring it. Bring that smoke. Talk that trash against our squad because we're going to tear it up.
Yes, sir.
Just like he got done in the Super Bowl last time. Eli Apple's a non-factor.
He talks a lot of smack, and then when it comes
He's
time to back it up.
Of the NFL.
Oh, that's gangster, but that is so true. Oh, man. So, we could talk about the awards and who's the finalists and all that. But guess what? We got about 25 minutes left. And I can't speak for y'all, but I know I would like some time to discuss Philadelphia Eagles, best team in the NFL, versus the team with the longest winning streak, the San Francisco 49ers. So my first thought on this, and I'm going to give a couple of thoughts, but my first thought on this is simply run the ball. That's where I'm going to start. Diva, what you got?
Run the ball and protect the ball.
Yeah. I mean, to add on to that, we've already been hearing it over these past couple of days. Philly's not going to be able to run the ball against San Fran with that D line and such. We've heard this. We've heard it before. We've heard it against like the Saints before, who had the top run defense. Heard it numerous times against these teams with the best run defense. It's not going to happen. Like with this O-line we have and Miles Sanders and some of the weapons we have, it doesn't matter if you have the best run defense. We still getting our yards. And even if somehow you do block it, you're not stopping Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, or Dallas Goedert. Like, it's just not going to happen. I didn't put Quez Watkins in there because we shouldn't be going to him on these huge plays, but that's another story. We saw it I saw the play from last year when we played him. It was like a 60-yard bomb to Quez, like went out of bounds. Like, man, come on. But this should be a great matchup, and I think it's going to be a game that's in the trenches. And I just think it's going to come down to our players being better than theirs, because I think they do have a great team. I think all 4 of these teams in the playoffs are here for a reason. These are the right teams. Whether you look at Brock Purdy, I mean, they had a great run, but a lot of that's due to great coaching as well. But I mean, I would take our D-line over theirs just because we have so much depth and we're able to rotate those pieces out and keep them fresh. And our O-line is just, second to none. They're out here doing their thing all season long. And Lane Johnson, even at 70%, is going to be able to stop whoever's on the opposite side of them.
All right, fair enough. And I'll add to that a little bit. So I think there's a couple of places where I would give the 49ers the advantage, okay? I will give them the advantage at linebacker. I will give them linebacker. I will also give them tight end, because while Dallas Goedert is one of the better tight ends, to me, you have a 2-person argument for the best tight end in the NFL right now. And one of those 2 people is George Kittle. So I would give them definitive advantages there. We have the advantage at cornerback, in my opinion. Defensive secondary altogether, we have the advantage. Obviously, we have the advantage at quarterback. Offensive line, think we're a little bit better. Defensive line, I definitely feel like we're a little bit better. Wide receiver, I would give them a slight edge because Debo is a dual threat weapon. He's a guy that, you can run ends around for. He can get you yards as a running back and as a wide receiver. So because of that versatility, I give them a slight edge there. Defensive line, definitely, I'm going with us all day. So I think it really matches up well. They're the defense who had the most turnovers. We were the defense who had the most turnovers until we started having some of those injuries, but that's okay. We're the defense with the most sacks in the league. So you got the defense with the most turnovers versus the defense with the most sacks. So I think that's going to be a great matchup where I think things are going to go well for the Philadelphia Eagles is running the ball and protecting the run. Because there's something very important that happened last week. First, we're going to talk about what Scrubs. First, I'm going to throw Scrub Zero's comment up here. Control the pace, tempo, commit to the run, attack the Niners corners. Right. Yeah. Long story short, yeah, but of course we want to stretch it out here, Scrub. We want to stretch it out, right? We want to talk about it. We want you to envision what we're thinking. We want the team to get the great juju from what we're talking about and use that on Sunday. So I think we saw what Dallas did. Dallas did not allow Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel to beat them.
They did not.
Right?
Right.
So if Dallas can do that, and I'm not saying that we have the same personnel as Dallas, but I feel like we should be able to at least minimize the run and take Deebo out to an extent. And I think the 49ers plan is going to be take A.J. Brown out. So I think that's what we're going to have.
And they also made Purdy make a lot of mistakes. Like, he looked like a true rookie out there.
Yeah.
Honestly. So if we capitalize off of the weaknesses that we saw on offense and defense.
Yeah. And I think Dallas, they have great edge rushers, whereas I think our whole defensive line can create pressure. So I feel like we're definitely going to be able to do a little bit more damage there, get Purdy uncomfortable, get him running around. But like you kind of mentioned a little bit cool about Deebo being like a dual threat. Watch out for a lot of tricky stuff. I feel like Shanahan's going to try to incorporate a lot of trickiness in this game. Just some of those sweep, end routes and everything, and just going about doing some stuff that maybe you wouldn't necessarily normally see. So I expect them to try to pull some trickery, but I feel like, I know I don't say this often. We none of us say this often, but I feel like Gannon is going to be on his game for this one.
Gannon said
you're wrong. Gannon. Let's talk about Gannon. So Gannon, you've had a couple of okay games that you called. I haven't yet to see the great game from you as a defensive play caller. This is the week I want to see that. I want to see pressure. I want to see man-to-man. I want to see help over the top. I want to see some zone, but I want to see man as well. I do not want to see a whole lot of prevent defense. Heck, even throw out some wide 9 if you want to. Mix it up. Give them some things they haven't seen a lot of. But I want a great called game from you, and I want great personnel in the game at the right times. And I do not want everyone 5 yards off the line of scrimmage every play. And I'm not mean 5 yards from like the line, but you know what I mean? Like where a players are normally at, we're about 7 yards back. So we're 5 yards behind where other players are normally at. No soft zone, sir.
And that's why they're catching those plays or those passes and being able to catch and run. And then they're not able to tackle because they're too far off. And they got to try to come back up.
3rd and 5, and then the corners are already sitting behind the first down line. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, get up on them.
What are you doing?
Yeah, in those situations, play smarter. Run defense. We cannot luck into good run defense this game. You have to call plays. We're able to get a lot of pressure with our 5. So what I want to do with that 5, our front 4, add one more guy in what you believe to be running situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be like a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or whoever, or Blankenship if he's playing safety. Get one more guy in that box for that. And then obviously other guys will float down if they see the run coming. But on passing downs, obvious passing downs, cover guys, sir. Go man with some help over the top. Let's be wild. You're probably going to have Maddox and CJGJ on that field. One goes to one side deep, one goes to the other side deep. Come on, man. Let's not do this. Let's not play these games this week. Let's go out there and play football. Let's go out there and attack. Let's go out there and hit them with, some 5-2 if we need to, some 4-4, some 3-4, whatever. Let's give them exotic looks. Let's disguise what we want to do. Let's show Brock Purdy, a rookie, mystery relevant 7th round pick, one thing, and then let's bait him into what we want him to do. If we can't do this to Brock Purdy, that's a problem. He should be pressured. He should have to throw the ball away. He should have to make those decisions. Do I throw the ball away? Do I try to run out of bounds? Do I try to still hold it and make a play? We should be ripping at that ball every time we get to him, trying to get a fumble out of him. We need to win the turnover battle, and we need our defense to be the defense from earlier in the season, and not just the players playing at an elite level, but being put in the right positions by you, Gannon. This is your week to shut me up. You're going to shut me up, or you're going to hear me talk trash about you all off season. It's going to be your choice.
Probably say, I don't care. I'm going to Houston.
Yeah, and like you said, we need to go back to that defense we saw through the first part of the season. I think a great step was last past week against those Giants. We saw that, and how sweet was it to see James Bradbury getting that pick against Daniel Jones? We've been waiting for it through those past 2 games against New York, and we finally got it. So I mean, I'm expecting it. I'm betting we're gonna get a CJGJ interception in this game. We haven't seen one in a long time. I think we're going to get one.
It's coming.
Especially if we can get it back to safety. And that way, Maddox can worry about covering that third receiver. And he can play that free safety position. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen CJGJ back in that safety position in a minute. So as soon as you get things kind of back to normal, it's over.
It's over. You better watch it.
And you got to find a way to keep Blankenship on that field in some capacity in a rotation.
We sure do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this guy that we drafted named Kobe Dean.
Oh, he had a good game
too. Yeah, he needs to see the field continually too. And I'm not saying other guys should not play, but I'm saying he's shown that given the opportunities that he's a guy that could win. He's a guy that understands what he's doing now. So we need to see him out there a lot. I want a lot of big JD out there too. We need that middle clogged up.
Yep.
We got these big boys. Put JD out there with Sue or Joseph. Let's put all the big boys out there. Just a whole bunch of meat on the line. Just put the meaty line out there.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he outsnapped Joseph last week. I think they're kind of putting him into the game more. And I was going to say, it was nice seeing them put some of these guys into that game, get them some playoff experience. Some of these guys wouldn't necessarily get any other time. So, I mean, that's great, especially going through these playoffs. I mean, I totally agree with you because Nakobe Dean is going to be a feature part of this defense throughout these years. I mean, he's going to be a starter eventually. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Probably next year.
Hey, you never know with some free agents, but I mean, that's talk for like off season. But man, don't let us get to the Super Bowl, y'all. We're going to be relentless.
We ain't gonna let up. We're not done. Like,
If
they
you
got
are-
that mentality.
If you are the Cincinnati Bengals or the Kansas City Chiefs, and I mean no disrespect to my peoples who are 49ers fans, because I got some people I got love for as 49ers fans. But if you are the Kansas City Chiefs or the Cincinnati Bengals, while you're sitting there waiting to play, you're hoping to God. You praying. You lighting incense sticks. You putting olive oil all over your body. You soaking in olive oil. You want the 49ers and not the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you that's what you're doing.
Guaranteed. Yep.
We ain't even talked about the offense yet, bro. We ain't even talked about the offense. All right, we ain't even got there. That's why we need the time. We ain't even got to none of that yet.
Before we get to, I don't know if you saw, but I did a little kind of recon. I don't know if it's just gamesmanship or what, but I know Shanahan said that they're going to play. It's just a matter of how healthy they are. Apparently, Christian McCaffrey and Debo didn't practice today. I think McCaffrey's dealing with a hamstring injury, and Debo's still dealing with an ankle injury through these past couple weeks. I mean, he was on IR for a minute. But these are dudes that aren't fully healthy as well. So, I mean, we may not be getting them at 100% what they're normally capable of in these games. So that's also an advantage as well when we are getting to be the healthiest we've been throughout most of the season.
Yeah, I mean that's a very valid point that you have there. I think when we talk about offense, we'll definitely get to Debo and those guys, but the Philadelphia Eagles offense at line, I don't have to name them. You know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
That line is one of the most veteran lines in the league. Dickerson is the young boy. He's been around for a couple of years to solidify that line. I saw Dallas Goedert's interview today when they were talking to him. He made a great point that I think a lot of people don't remember. Goddard came in a year after we won the Super Bowl. So Goddard was just out of reach of that Super Bowl. So you think he's not a guy that's hungry to try to get there and submit his own legacy as a Philadelphia tight end that has a big game this week and next week to win a Super Bowl? I just question who you're going to take away. I saw another amazing tribute. I wanted to try to pull it up, but I can't remember. I couldn't remember where I found it at. But A.J. Brown basically wrote a letter to Devontae Smith, and then he read it. He was basically saying, like, Devontae, man, you're a great player. You do what you do, man. Don't let people talk about your size. Don't let people try to, intimidate you or anything. And then they spliced it in, Devontae Smith talking about how people always say he wasn't going to be able to do this because of his size. Had him when he won his Heisman and everything. Had him last year showing, great plays that he's had. These are two guys that have a lot of love for each other. You can throw Quez in there. You can throw Pascal in there as well. These are guys that have love for each other. We also talk about Kyle Katera, our backup tight end, and Jack Stahl, our blocking tight end. These are guys that still can make catches. These are guys that had to make catches at a time when we didn't have Dallas Goedert. So these are guys that are also ready to step up and do something for us because they've been in the offense. QB1, number one, has a lot of confidence in those guys to throw them the ball to make plays. So what I'm going to do is before I continue to talk about the offense, I'm opening up to everybody else because we still haven't even gotten to the running backs or the quarterback yet. But I'm going to step back for a moment and allow you guys to also give your thoughts.
Just the whole offensive line itself is just so poised in they're just so talented in how hard that they worked over a year. I mean, because last year we started 1 in, I don't know, it was a very low 1 in 4 or something like that. And to turn around not even a whole year to become what we are now is amazing work, not only in the locker room, but with the coaching staff and just the mentality of those men on that O-line because they knew their potential. And so they went to go seek their potential. And just having Lane Johnson be a veteran and be who he is to help mold the rest of the O-line and Kelsey too, because Kelsey's been around for a very long time. It's just amazing. And then you have running backs like Booby, Booby, like he's just having an amazing year, and he's really showing what he used to be when he was at Penn State. And then, Booby can't get it. Then you got Boston Scott. You got him mini Sproles. You got Boston Scott. And then you got Kenny Gainwell on top of that. So just to have such a versatile running back and to be stacked at the running back, because a lot of people only have 1 or 2 running backs. We have 3 that are amazing. And you can put anyone in that's going to burn you at any time on a play. And then Jalen Hurts, is amazing. He's had so much controversy himself. Oh, he's not going to be a good running quarterback, and he's not going to do this. But the man has came in and just done everything. He done way more than Wentz ever did or will do. You hear me? And Wentz was the talk for Philadelphia when he first came in. So to see Jalen mentally mature on top of mature his game and take it to the level that he has taken it is amazing.
And I also want to say real quick, Michael Parsons is Jalen Hurts, just in case you didn't get an answer to your question, sir.
He is the system.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Diva. I want to print exactly what you said out and give it to Kelsey, because I could picture him saying all of that in that Mummers outfit at the top of that, the art museum in Philly at the end in February. But yeah, I mean, this O-line is so dominant, and it seems like it doesn't matter who comes in and out of it. I mean, it's that Jeff Stoutland University that everybody goes to within Philly here all season long, and it doesn't matter who's in there. But I mean, you have Malata, who didn't even play football at all before coming to Philly, right, and everything. But Jeff Stoutland's just so great at turning these guys into just monsters on that line. And I mean, Lane Johnson hasn't allowed a sack in 3 years or 2 years or something like that. Jason Kelsey hasn't allowed a sack in damn near just as long. It's amazing what these guys are able to do. And that's a part of that goes into the success with Jalen, because he has that much time to get the ball to some of these guys, even though he may not need it at certain points, because that's how talented these receivers are. But that also gives him time to get out of the pocket, pull some of those Patrick Mahomes type moves, look for that next big play or whatever. But it just seems like once the wheels are greased, it's just a finely tuned machine once you get that offense rolling. And like we talked about multiple times, I feel like it doesn't matter what defense you put up against this, we're always going to find a way to win, whether it's running through the gate, through the air. It doesn't matter. We're going to find a way to win no matter what. And part of that is because of Jalen Hurts. He has that dog mentality Sirianni always talks about.
Right. And he learned how to read the defense.
Yeah, exactly. He heard the noise after that Tampa Bay game. I mean, that was the biggest mistake ever by Tampa Bay, was getting inside of Jalen Hurts' head, because that just drove him to be that ultimate competitor.
Yeah, you're on his way to being Michael Vick status in the NFL.
I mean, who knows if this season goes right? Even better. He's one of the top QBs in Eagles history if he completes this journey. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, this is the one where everything's on the line, right? This is it. I mean, I've been asked on multiple shows. I'm actually doing it tomorrow, and I know I'm going to be asked the same question, and it's going to be, is a Super Bowl a bust? The answer to that question is no. And I'm going to tell you why the answer to that question is no. It's win the Super Bowl a bust. You get this close, there is no more, next year, this, that. No. Super Bowl or bust. That's where we're at.
Period.
Yeah. Period. We gotta win that bowl.
We have to. And when you can't go out and be a dominant team and not win a Super Bowl like that. Period.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just that feeling. It's that 2017 feeling. It's just something special about the team whenever you watch them and just hear everything about them, and then you see how disrespected they are by the media and everything. It's just all snowballing and just culminating in just the perfect season. And it's just going to be the perfect route to go there and do exactly what we need to do. And who knows? It doesn't matter who it's against. I feel like it's going to be against Joey B. But it's just going to be crazy if they go to the Super Bowl and lose 2 years in a row. It's going to be looking like the 90s Bills or something.
Yeah.
True possibility.
Yeah. I mean, even if Jalen Hurts and these Eagles go to the Super Bowl, win or lose, they're still not going to be talked about, which is crazy to me. Like, even if they go out here and win a Super Bowl, they're still going to get disrespected next season. And Jalen Hurts is still going to be talked down to and stuff. It's like, God, they hate us, but it's all right. We don't care.
We don't care. Hit us all you want.
Yeah. We're going to go out here and win. And if you let us go out here and win a Super Bowl, we're going to be relentless next year because it's not underdogs anymore. We the best. Right. And we're going to have a lot of the same core on that offense. Hopefully bring a lot of these free agents back on defense, but we looking to run it back again and be just as good next year, hopefully.
And just know this year it ain't no backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because when we won in 2017, it was our backup that won it against Brady. This year is the starting quarterback.
Yeah. And that's so refreshing to like even think about. It's like we're going into a possible Super Bowl with a starting quarterback. We don't have to worry about a backup at this point.
Yeah. It's been a long time since the O-line hasn't been a plus unit.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was Howie and Sirianni are talking about like that's one of the most important things they want to look at is that O-line and D-line.
That's important.
And I want to say on the reverse side of that, Brock Purdy, this is an exposing game. And it doesn't mean he's going to play bad. He's going to get sacked 50 times and throw 80 turnovers or any of that craziness. But what we really need is we just need to be able to minimize the run, take away the short pass game from Purdy, make him have to make long plays, make him have to progress through his reads, and not allow that running game to be a crutch for him. If we can do that, if we can make it Kittle, Ayuk has to beat us, I will live with that more so than Samuel, especially with Debo being hurt, Christian McCaffrey being hurt. These guys are going to play, right? There's no tomorrow. They're going to play. But they're not 100%. That could work in our favor. Mm-hmm. I think their line is really good, but I think our defensive line, with the depth we have and the ability to keep running guys out, I think we may be able to do what we've been doing all year and get pressure. You get pressure on a young guy, you bust pipes. Let's bust some pipes on this kid. Let's not disrespect him because I don't think we're going to be able to do that. But let's show people what happens when you throw a rookie quarterback, third stringer in against the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly, man.
That's just what it is. He ain't never had no experience like this.
I mean, we talk a lot about this person hasn't played this person hasn't done that. But you look back over his games he's had. I'm not saying he hasn't played some solid defenses, but he hasn't played a defense as thorough in every position as the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is where he's going to have to show if he's really that guy. You know, I know we're not going to really talk about the awards. We can just wait until they happen. But the fact that Brock Purdy is there for Rookie of the Year, slap in the face.
Ridiculous, dude. Especially to some of these rookies that have been playing all season long, working their butts off, man.
They're definitely a slap in the face, man. But hey,
outrageous.
You know, it's all about the narrative, as Scrub Zero said earlier. It's the narrative more than what they've actually done. So it is what it is. Y'all worry about the individual awards. We'll worry about the championship.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I think a big part of it's going to be putting pressure on him, making him uncomfortable. That way he makes some stupid decisions or he's not able to get through his reads fast enough. Throw that ball away. And if you're able to get up maybe a score or two early, do what you did with them Giants. Don't even give them a chance to run the ball. That put them in a position where they have to resort to pass. And then you can shut them down all you want.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, y'all been doing a lot of talk this week. A lot of shows been San Francisco's a team and blah, blah, blah. Vegas don't even give us this respect we need. But you know what? The great thing is the game is played on the field. So San Francisco, two things for you. First one.
Just bring it, bitch!
And number two.
That's it.
Straight up.
And I'm going to even throw you in a bonus one this week just because it's the championship game.
Because that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
Oh, yeah. Man, like that, the link was rocking on Saturday. Like, imagine how it's going to be at a conference championship game.
It's sold out. It's sold out. So that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. And it's going to be like an environment Brock Purdy has never seen in his life. It's going to be loud.
He's not going
He's going to be rattled. And that team's going to be electric. So, I mean, I expect a good showing from this offense and defense coming right out of the gate. Exactly what we were seeing in that Giants game. Keep them on their toes.
And just to add a little bit of humbleness to this.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Dig it. All right. Starting with you, Eagles Diva. Any final thoughts on the mega matchup this week?
Nope. Fly, Eagles, fly. Bird gang in the building. Gotta come through the link. Show up and get your whoop for free. Let's go.
Exactly. We got to go out here and prove exactly why we are and have been the number 1 seed all season long and why we deserve some respect. Fly, Eagles, fly.
All I'm going to say is simply this, man. We ain't playing no games. We're here to win. And hopefully we're going to be here next week talking about how great we played in this game. Of course, if we do win, we're going to be waiting until the week before because, we got this Pro Bowl crap. But we'll be waiting to the show before the Super Bowl to preview that. But we'll still have plenty to talk about next week. So make sure you come on through next week, too. We will keep you entertained. San Francisco. All I got for you is good luck.
I don't think they're ready.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Brock Purdy going to be looking like he's wearing an Eagles jersey by the time that game's over. That's how dirty he's going to be.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
All right, y'all.
Hey, Philly Eats, I appreciate that, man. Make sure everyone in the chat, everybody that sees the replay, everybody that sees it live, make sure you like the show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share it for your peoples here. We're gonna grow this thing. We're gonna grow this thing. You know why? Ain't no way to go but up. Just like the Eagles, we're gonna make this thing happen. Last comment here, we're gonna make Pretty one with the turf. We got you, Scrub. We got you. We're gonna do it just for you, brother. We're gonna do it just for you. And ladies and gentlemen,
we talk about Super Bowl next week.
That's the goal. It's either gonna be Super Bowl or how we beat ourselves. Let's hope it's not the second.
Exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said,
have a good one.
Hashtag be elite. Be elite. Let's get it.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Eagles, fly.
Kill it.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin!